Let's look at using Quick Export in Photoshop to export images for the web. Here I've got a piece of work that I've been creating for my client, and I need to create some assets going to be published on the internet, on various platforms. And I can do that by using the Quick Export option in Photoshop. If I go to File, Export, you can see that at the very top of our menu there is Quick Export as PNG. So if I do that, I'll get a Save As dialog box up on the screen, and I'll be able to navigate to a spot, to a directory that I can export that file to. And I've already set up an output folder there on my desktop. This is where I'm going to save my work for the web. Just give it a name and save that. And if I go and have a look on the desktop there, you can see that my PNG has been created. So that's great for creating PNG, but if I wanted to create a different kind of file quickly, I could change my preferences. Let's have a look at preferences in Photoshop, or my export preferences. So we'll go to File, Export, and Export Preferences. And that brings up our preferences pane in the Quick Export section. And I can change that from a PNG to a JPEG if I like. And I can also set a quality for that JPEG. I'm going to leave it at about 80. Click OK. And then next time that I go to the Quick Export under File, Export, Quick Export, you can see that it's Quick Export as JPEG. I'll quickly do that and export out a JPEG version of my advertisement. I'm going to change that back to PNG. Just go back into the export preferences. Because I want to export some images with some transparency, and I'll show you that now. Click OK. So when I look back under Quick Export, it's going to export as a PNG this time. So yes, I can export the whole document as a flattened image, but I can also export out parts of my document. So if we have a look at this logo element here on its own, I can right click on that layer and I can quick export that as a JPEG on its own. Let me do that. So I've gone to that layer, right clicked on that layer, and I can quick export as a PNG. And it's using the layer name there, and I'm going to export that out into my output folder as well. And I'll just bring up that folder, that desktop folder again, and open up that file that I've just exported in Photoshop, and show you that, although it's quite a small file, it has actually exported that as a transparent PNG. So you can see that that would be very useful at times for exporting out different assets you might need to incorporate into different parts of your HTML, for example. You can also export out groups. So if I made a group of some of these layers here, and right clicked on that group, I can export just those elements as PNG and keep that transparency. Yes, so quick export from Photoshop is really useful and very rapid way of outputting your assets for publishing.